here now. So what is happening? My beautiful reflections. What is up, people? What is up? Yeah, I want to talk about this, something that I've sort of been noticing that as I've been going through this process. I've been going on this about a year and a half now. In this awakening process. And, you know, as I meet new people and kind of come across these channels, and I started seeing this sort of common theme, or a little bit common, I guess. You know, abused, used, addicted, alcoholic type personalities. You know, I want to say addicted personalities. You know, I notice a lot of people are waking up that have had issues in the past that they've had to overcome. Huge obstacles, you know, and there's this old saying it goes something like, only until you have mastered the dark will you be allowed to play with the light. I don't know where that comes from. I heard Case Park say it once. And, you know, and that's pretty much the sum of this. I really feel like that a lot of people that are going through this are people who have, you know, been down, real down, you know, and they know what despair is. They know, you know, what having to pick yourself up is. They know what hating yourself is. They know what overcoming obstacles are. They know what, you know, having a challenge, a daily challenge, you know, something that's you're struggling with, and you feel alone, and you feel like you're the only one out there. And, you know, you begin to, you know, as you go through your, whatever it is that kind of separates you from society, or the thing that you feel like sort of, I don't know, you know, kind of makes you a loner, or just you just have to deal with your own shit. You know what I mean? You got to deal with shit. You're not one of these people who, you know, you don't fit into the square peg. Everybody else comes along, they fit into that square peg, and you seem to be this circle that doesn't fit into the peg, you know. That's who I've been. That's who I am. I've been down. I've been out. I've seen the bottoms. I've been alone. You know, I've played in the dark. I've mastered the dark. I know the dark. You know, I can see in the dark. I can see very well in the dark. And probably you can too. You know, if this was resonating with you from the beginning, I'm sure that you're probably either been on the same page I've been on, you know, or you've just been down this road, or maybe, you know, you've had a rough childhood, or there's just things in your past that you've had to really overcome, and overcome those things alone. And, you know, you've had to come to some realizations on your own that you are in this alone, and that this is only you on this planet, you know, and that whatever baggage you're carrying around, you're the only one carrying it. I mean, you may have people enable you, you know, try to patch up the past and live day to day, you know. So anyway, my point is I have a feeling that a lot of the reason that these first waves, or these seems to be the first waves of people, these very first, I just, you know, the first of us that are waking up. And it's been, you know, I guess what I'm trying to get to is that we are strong enough to be the first ones. We're like, you know, was it the Marines that go in first, you know? If you can think of our lives as, you know, I think the Green Berets, maybe the Marines have the Green Berets, and some of them have what they call the Rangers, and I forget all the specialty groups, you know, the SEALs, Navy SEALs, all these badass dudes that they go through, you know, like boot camp that's hell, you know what I mean? Then they go through Hell Week, which for some of us would be prison, or when we stole from somebody we love dearly, or, you know, just when you've reached your absolute, it seems like your bottom. And, you know, you become seasoned in pain and suffering. You become seasoned in redemption. You've become seasoned in resurrection. You've become seasoned in wanting to live, wanting to come out of the darkness, wanting to get out of the darkness, the extreme darkness, the lonely, cold suffering, and so I think that we're like the specialty forces, we're like first in, you know what I mean? We're coming in, we're like the first in. It's I don't know what's going to go down, but I know that we're the first in, and I know that we're a resilient bunch, that we're tough around the edges, that we're seasoned, we're weathered, we've been tried, we've been tested, and I think all this amounts to something. I think it really does. I truly believe that there's a reason why, there's a lot of people who've been through suffering, a lot of people who's been through pain, a lot of people who's been down that road are waking up. And I think it's because we're tough enough. I think it's because we're tough enough to be that first wave. We're tough enough to be them first, the first soldiers in. And then to say, come on, man, come on, follow us. We're blazing this path. So, if you're awakening right now, and maybe you haven't suffered, maybe you've had a perfect life, and maybe I'm totally wrong, but I really do see a lot of people that are very well seasoned in suffering, and picking themselves up and pulling up their bootstraps and getting on with life, So, because most people couldn't handle what a drug addict and an alcoholic go through. Most people would probably shoot themselves. They couldn't handle what some people have been through. They just couldn't simply handle it. And they couldn't handle what it is that drove the people to the drugs and the alcohol, the abuse that they had as a child. A lot of it's sexual. A lot of it's physical, mental. It's I grew up in a very, very, very bad house, and with every kind of abuse imaginable. So, I know about abuse. I know about people who've been abused. I know what it means to rise above that, and I know the tenacity, the resilience, the strength, the fortitude, all these things, the insight, the drive, all of these things that it's going to take, all of these things that it's going to take for us to bring this next wave of people through, because this is, this isn't just some thing that's going down for a minute and everybody's like, oh, ooh, whatever. No, this shit's going down for real, and we're about to take the shit over. It's going to take a while. It might take 20 years. If you are one of these first waves of people and you have been through hell, you've been through hell your whole life, that was your training, man. That was your training. You are now corporal, sergeant, whatever. You're in this. You're in the army now, buddy, because, like I say, that there's troops coming in behind us, and you can't turn back. We are the first wave. We are the first wave in. We are the badasses, man. We're the Green Berets, the Navy SEALs, whatever you want to call us, the Rangers. We are those guys, so we all know what it's like to be tough. We know what it's like to be disconnected. We know what it's like to be resilient. We know what it's like to be alone. We know what it's like. There's so many things that we know that other people just don't know. They they drive, stay in the lane, they stay in their lane, they go the speed limit, they got their seatbelt on, they pay their taxes, they're worried about their credit score, they're doing all this, they go to church and pray through Jesus on Sunday and do all their little things. And, they've been good little slaves and nothing has ever happened to them. So they don't know when the shit goes down. They just don't know what to do. They're not going to know what to do, and it's going to be up to us. We're going to be the people who lead them. So, anyway, I just wanted to come on and kind of talk about that I've noticed that, consider yourself lucky for your life, how horrible it was. Because, you know, if you read the Beatitudes, I really believe that people have suffered, people that have been, you know, in the trenches, people that have been through hell. I believe that your rewards are going to be great. I really believe it. Mine too. You know, I really believe that. So, and it's time. The time is here. So, savor it. Go with it. Go with the ride. You know what I mean? Go with the flow of it, and just enjoy this time on the planet, dude. Because it's our time. This is it. You know, this is like if you ever wanted to be part of a revolution, if you ever wanted to be part of something that's going to tip the scales. This is it, man. You're in. You know what I mean? So we're all in this together. Peace. I love you guys. You know I love you. And has anybody told you that you're beautiful? Let me look at you. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're beautiful. So, because you're me. And I'm you. Right? So you better hit like, go to my page, go in this little thingamajiggy, find me, go there and subscribe, because I'm just a little channel. But I love you. And if you don't go over there and subscribe, you don't love yourself. Because I'm you. I mean, you understand this? You have to show some love to yourself or hate yourself, whichever one you choose. Anyway, peace. Love y'all.